Harry everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we're diving into what are, without a doubt, the most emotional, expressive words in the entire English language. I'm talking about interjections. Whether you're looking to, punch up your creative writing, or you just want to avoid some really common pitfalls in your academic papers, I am so excited to guide you through this. We're going to start with the absolute basic rules of these little emotional powerhouses, and then we'll work our way all the way up to the advanced secrets of using them, or, as you'll see, definitely avoiding them in professional writing. So let's get into it.
So, first things first, what exactly is an interjection? Well, think about your standard nouns or verbs. They're polite, right? They follow the rules of sentence structure. Interjections? They're the rebels. They are words used specifically to express strong feelings, sudden emotions, or surprise. And honestly, the thing that amazes me every single time I think about it is that they completely lack a grammatical connection to the rest of the sentence. No way, right? It's true. They don't modify anything, they don't act as a subject, they literally just stand proudly and completely on their own. Their one and only job is to show exactly how a speaker is feeling in that exact moment.
Okay, here's our roadmap for this explainer. First, we'll meet the expressive interjection. Second, we'll cover the rules of punctuation. Third, categories and sentence placement. Fourth, advanced phrases and sounds. And finally, number 5, the golden writing rule.
All right, let's dive right into section 1. Meet the expressive interjection, the pure emotion of the English language.
Think about it. When you drop something heavy on your foot, you don't instantly formulate a complex sentence about the physics of the impact, do you? No, you just shout, ouch! Or when you see something absolutely incredible, you naturally just say, wow! If you make a tiny mistake, oops. These words are just incredibly powerful because they instantly communicate shock, pain, or joy. They do all of this heavy lifting of expression without ever needing a full sentence to back them up.
Which brings us to section 2, rules of punctuation, controlling the emotion, exclamation versus comma.
Now, with great emotion comes great responsibility, right? What's really interesting here is the choice this forces you to make as a writer. You have to actively judge the level of emotion in the speaker's voice. If the emotion is very strong or really sudden, you hit it with a hard exclamation mark. And remember, the very next word absolutely must start with a capital letter because that interjection is standing completely alone. But if the emotion is just mild or gentle, use a soft comma, which keeps it comfortably attached to the rest of the sentence.
Let's actually hear this grammatical rule in action. Listen to the strong emotion here. Ouch, that really hurt. Or pure excitement. Yay, we won the game. The exclamation mark demands a pause, and it packs a real punch. Now, contrast that with mild emotion. It's much more hesitant, much gentler. Oh, I didn't know you were here. Or, well, I suppose we can try. See how the comma just lets the emotion softly bleed into the rest of the sentence? It's a totally different vibe.
Okay, time for a quick practice check to really lock this in. Listen to this sentence. Blank, I dropped my phone. So which of these interjections fits best? Wow, ouch, shh, or oops? Think about it. If you accidentally drop your phone, you're experiencing a sudden, unfortunate mistake. So the absolute perfect choice here is oops. And notice that exclamation mark, because the panic of dropping a phone is definitely a sudden, strong emotion.
Moving right along to section 3, categories and sentence placement. Where do they go and what do they actually mean?
So, we can actually group interjections by their specific function. First up, we have greeting or calling, which are words you use just to get someone's attention. Then we have the highly positive ones, joy or approval. Think of a standing ovation where someone shouts, bravo, that was an excellent performance. Or the pure relief of a student shouting, hurrah, exams are over. But on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, we have interjections of sorrow or pity. Imagine reading a dramatic classic tragedy. Alas, the treasure was lost, or offering someone deep sympathy. Oh dear, I am so sorry. The word itself literally sets the entire emotional stage for the listener.
And this brilliantly illustrates their flexibility. Now, while we almost always see interjections at the beginning of a sentence, like, yikes, that was a close call, they aren't actually trapped there. You can inject them right into the middle of a thought. For example, it is cold outside, brr, so put on a heavy coat. Notice how we use commas on both sides to safely nestle that little shiver of emotion right into the middle of the sentence? It's great. You could even stick them at the very end to show a sort of lingering feeling, like, you made a huge mistake, huh? All right, let's step it up a notch. Section 4, advanced phrases and sounds, multi-word bursts and cognitive sounds. Welcome to the advanced level.
Sometimes, an entire phrase can act as a single interjection. These multi-word phrases express a sudden burst of feeling, but they totally lack your typical sentence structure. Say you see a fender bender, you might yell out of shock, "Good heavens, what happened to your car?" Or imagine a stressed-out teacher expressing just pure frustration. "For goodness sake, please sit down." Or maybe you witness something amazing and just shout, "Holy cow." In all these cases, the whole phrase acts as one giant block of emotion.
Even more fascinating, at least to me, are the onomatopoeic and cognitive sounds we make. These are literally just natural human sounds written out as words, and they perfectly reveal a character's internal thought process or a physical reaction. Like if someone is thinking really deeply, they say, I am not sure. After a long, grueling day of work, you exhale with relief. Phew, we finished. If you smell something terrible, your physical disgust comes out as, ugh, this milk is bad. And my personal favorite, the sudden triumph of realization, aha, I figured it out. These aren't just words on a page. They are real, visceral human reactions.
Now for the moment we've been building toward. Section 5, the golden writing rule, when never to use them.
So here is the golden rule. Because interjections are highly emotional and deeply conversational, they should almost never be used in formal, academic, or professional writing. It's a strict boundary. In casual speech, you might totally say, "Wow, the study showed a massive increase in sales." But in an academic paper or a business report, you have to strip that raw emotion away. You'd say, "The study demonstrated a highly significant increase in sales." Interjections belong in fiction and casual conversation for sure, but they have zero place in formal analysis.
However, there is one incredible exception to this golden rule. You can use an interjection in formal writing only if you are directly quoting a person. For example, if you are writing a highly formal legal report, you can and absolutely should write, "The witness stated, 'Oh my God, I saw the whole thing.' Because you are preserving exactly what the person said, their pure emotion is actually allowed to break the formal rules." How cool is that?
And that brings us to the end of our explainer. We've seen how these little bursts of pure feeling operate completely on their own terms. Aha! Phew! So I want you to think about your own daily speech patterns. What are your favorite everyday grunts, cheers, and sighs? And more importantly, how will you consciously punctuate and categorize those sounds now that you know exactly how they work? Keep listening to the emotions around you, and as always, keep learning.